We come to the fourth strategy of revising, and that is use active verb. We already talked about this one. We said that good writing usually use active verbs, not passive verbs. Passive verbs are not very preferred in writing unless the sentence requires this. When the sentence requires this, when we'd like to put more emphasis on the person or the thing that received the action. But generally speaking, active voice is more preferred in writing, because passive voice can create some kind of misleading writing. So try to so active voice is more used in essay writings. Active verbs are more effective and sound like than the passive voice. They more effective in writing. Let's see. For a clear and more natural sentence, use active voice. In order to create natural and a clear sentence, try to focus on using active voice. This is the first thing. The second thing, use passive voice when you want to put more emphasis on the thing or the person receiving the action. And this is usually used, passive voice usually used in scientific and legal contexts, because we would like to put more emphasis on the receiving of the action. Usually context, scientific and legal context, they use passive voice because the emphasis here is on the receiving action, it's not the doer of the action. So it's they use more, regularly they use passive voice. But here we are not, our writing is not most of the time about receiving the action, definitely. So most of the time it's use active voice more than passive voice in your writing. And when it comes to good writing, don't be passive, even if your sentences sometimes need to be. So this is the idea of not to become a passive voice user. So generally speaking, try to focus on using active voice rather than passive voice. It's very simple. We already talked about this in a previous chapter. So I think it's clear. We do not need to go through in details about this. We come to the fifth strategy of revising to make our revising professional. We use concise words. Let's see, what do we mean by concise words? Using more words than necessary is considered lazy or careless writing. That is called wordiness. Some students, in order to fill the assignment words, if the assignment requires, for example, 2,000 words or 1,000 words, they try to put extra words thinking that this will meet the requirements of the assignment. That, of course, will bring a negative impact on your writing. That is called wordiness. So your words should be concise, because it's a careless writing if you just put and repeat words. Let's see the example here. For example, I am planning to describe the hobby that I enjoy of collecting old comic books. Look, I will read it again. I am planning to describe the hobby that I enjoy of collecting old comic books. It does not sound like a musical sentence. There is some kind of fluctuations in reading the sentence. That means that it is not a very professional sentence. It's a wordy sentence, full so many words. You can say it in a very simple way. You remember we said that there is a golden rule of writing: simple is good. That is the rule. The more you write in a simple way, the more you are a professional writer. Do not try to complicate things. Do not try to use pretentious words. Do not try to use very long sentences without any punctuation. That is wordiness, and that is not. So you can simply say, I enjoy collecting old comic books. That is more perfect, more correct than the first one, which is, it's not a musical. So use concise words. Concise word, it means do not use many words in order to make your sentences longer or more effective. That will not make your sentence effective. On the contrary, that will make your sentence It's not very musical. It does not appeal to the reader eye, and also it does not create some kind of picture or music. So try to use concise words, the words that directly relate to the meaning of your. So we can say, we can correct this sentence by saying, I enjoy collecting old comic books. That's very simple, very nice, and very effective. It reaches the reader in a direct way and a very simple way and lovable way. That is the meaning of concise. For example, we have another example in relation to concise words. James thinks that cable television will change and alter our lives in the future. That is also wordy because we are using two verbs in the same sense, in the same meaning. We do not need to repeat these things in order to make our sentences longer and more attractive. We can say James thinks that cable television will change our lives in the future. Very simple, very easy. Use only one verb to indicate the idea, because both change and alter the same meaning, and it does not give any picture, any different picture actually. So this is the meaning of concise words. So simplicity, simplicity and direct sentences can create better pictures, better images in the reader's mind, and can trigger the reader imagination and see things in a very simple way, without complicating things and without creating a very messy way in order to reach your meaning. So this is the meaning of concise words.